I want to win titles. I want to play for something, whether it be this year or even the previous ones. We haven't won anything. That's the latest quotes attributed to Paul Pogba. Jan and Jules with us. Jules, obviously, his contract ends at the end of this season. Where's he going to go?
That's a really good question, Dan. I think right now, and rightly so, he's leaving everything open, all the options. He knows that there's a possibility, depending on who the next manager is at Old Trafford, there's a possibility that, of course, he can stay, and the new guy who comes in, whether that's Ten Hag or Pochettino, Luis Enrique, Lopetegui, Dan Thomas, whoever you want, says, hey, Paul, I really want you to stay because I'm going to build the team around you, and finally you're going to get a team good enough to compete for all the titles, or maybe not. And then he also knows that there will be other clubs in Europe, because he will be a free agent, who will be there, like PSG, like Juventus. PSG, we know for sure that the interest is on both sides. I think he likes the idea of maybe playing in Paris, going back home, basically, for him, who is a Paris-born and bred kid. And for PSG, who are looking to strengthen in midfield, especially if they can sell before a lot of the midfielders that they already have. But Juventus probably will feel similarly to PSG for Paul Pogba, and there might be others as well. So I think he's right now, and rightly so again, leaving all the options open.
Do you want him at PSG, Jules?
As much as I love the story of you go back to where you grew up and then you play there. It will strengthen the team. I think there's a lot of pros, and there's also a lot of cons. It rarely works when a story like this happens, in a bit of a fairy tale where you left Paris when you were really young, you never played for PSG before, you could have gone to the academy, you chose another academy in Le Havre, and now you can come back as a world champion, as a superstar, as one of the most gifted midfielders of your generation, in a team that right now is getting closer, but not there yet compared to the big club. And if he could help the team to get that extra step up, yeah, of course. But then the pressure will be so much bigger because he's a Parisian, because he's French, because you would expect the wages to be super high, and the signing on fee and the commissions for Mino and all of that. So he will come with some baggage. But yeah, on paper, if you ask me, he's one of my boys, so of course I would want him there.
Meanwhile, Pogba has been linked to Barcelona, which is quite surprising considering everyone seems to have been linked to a move to Catalonia of late. Now, this is despite all of their financial difficulties. We've seen Mundo Deportivo leaving with the fact that maybe Haaland could make that switch from Dortmund to Barcelona. Lewandowski as well. I'll just throw Salah into the mix as well. This is all really quite crazy considering their financial situations. This is what Joe Laporta had to say. We're going to continue with the philosophy to not put the institution at risk. We are working to incorporate 4 or 5 reinforcements that we think the team needs to be increasingly competitive. Barca are not going to lose its head. We'll have to adapt to Barca's salary, the new signings will, and to an economic structure that maintains the sustainability and balance of the club. That's a great allure, isn't it? To all these players come in but don't expect to get paid a lot because we wasted all the money quite a few years ago. Jules, overall, Kylian Mbappe, another name that's been linked to. Look, can we just stop the Kylian Mbappe stuff? He's going to go to Real Madrid, isn't it? That's it? Done, dusted?
I think it will be Real Madrid or staying at PSG. And as we've been explaining and repeating week after week, right now it's still most likely that he will go to the Bernabeu. So I was told there was nothing between Barcelona and the Mbappe clan. And I think that's coming from those people is pretty accurate. So I don't think this one, I'm sorry to disappoint all the Barcelona fans. I don't think this one could happen. And what Laporta says is right. And that's why I don't think the Haaland deal can happen either. I don't think any of those deals can happen. The deals that will happen are the one where there's no transfer fee to start with, for players who don't have the wages that Erling or Kylian, considering their level, will get and will ask for. So Mazraoui, no problem, great player, and it won't cost you that much. Christensen, the same. Kessié, the same. Gaia, probably the same. Then if you want the superstar that you cannot afford, this is very different. But right now, they're not in the market for Haaland and Mbappe. This is a 300 million, 350 million package. They can't afford that right now, even if the CVC deal kicks on.
Obviously, Jan, you've mentioned before, you think it's between Manchester City or Real Madrid. However, you're saying before we came on air that Mundo Deportivo might be closer to the Haaland camp than you are, so maybe you're wrong.
First of all, Pinocchio. I didn't say that. And secondly, it's quite interesting what's going on. And Barcelona and Bayern Munich are the same. First of all, they say, point one, we want Haaland. And then point two, we can't get him. And then they say, well, we look after our finances. We can't have these people. I mean, what Laporta is doing at the moment, he's building up the credibility to get more loan from the bank. That's what he's doing. And then he likes to say, well, we could have got these players, needed to link them, get some story in, let's get going, so that you see that Barcelona is a fantastic football club, as they are, but they just want to say that we are back in business. But look, now we have to look after our deals. We have to do it in the right way. And Jules is saying, I mean, 100% right what he's saying, all that kind of thing. But these kind of boys, these alpha animals that is running these clubs, they love to say that they are linked to the best players of the world, just to show that we still have that status. But at the end of the day, they are rejected, and then they come out and say, yes, we reject them because we have to look after our finances. They're not talking to their football fans. They are talking to the banks who are going to give them loans and going to give them a delay on paying back their loans. That's what they're doing.
What about Lewandowski, Jan?
Well, Lewandowski is an interesting case because the thing is with Bayern, imagine you break all records in the world, you score 41 goals in the Bundesliga, and then every day you have a look at the internet when you walk up and any site say, well, we're going to get Haaland to Bayern Munich, and then you go on and on about this, and then after a while, you say, no, we don't going to get Haaland. He's too expensive for us. Okay, you didn't know that before you start talking to them. And then you go back to Lewandowski. Listen, Robert, we've tried to dance with this young girl all night, but now we need to dance with you. Are you ready? Oliver Kahn will be there as well. And so now now he's mad at that, which is normally Sahavi, his agent, saying, in Germany they call him the pariah, what they always do when the agents don't want to dance with you. And then of course you're linked to Barcelona. You will be linked to any club in these negotiations now with Bayern Munich. But mind you, so far Robert Lewandowski has had one sentence of Bayern. That was after a game which Salihamidzic said before the game, we're going to talk to him. And then Lewandowski said, oh, I haven't heard about that.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.